Welcome back. You're watching Talk Money. And before we take up all your fun queries, here's a programming alert. And to celebrate International Women's Day, Talk Money will have a women's special on the 7th of March. That's next Wednesday. So keep all your calls and emails coming through.
All right, we look forward to that day. And our mutual fund guest today is Renu Putin. Hi, Renu. Good to have you back on the show. Ramit Gupta is calling in from Delhi. Hi, Ramit.
Yeah, hi.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to invest about 10 to 20,000 in mutual funds. So I would like to know which mutual fund should I start with. This is the first time I'm investing.
Okay. And so far your money has been lying parked where? In bank deposits?
Yes.
So you have no equity exposure at all?
Initially, I purchased one IPO for Coal India.
Okay.
And one for Moil. That's only equity exposure I have.
All right. Okay. Renu, 25 years old, on the right track, wants to start investing for the long term with through the mutual fund route. What would you advise?
I think since it's a first time investment, he can start with a large cap fund. So there he can look at a fund like an ICICI Focus Blue Chip, and then he can even have a 10% kind of an exposure to a balanced fund like an HDFC Prudence fund. I think the
calls and emails coming through.
All right, we look forward to that day. And our mutual fund guest today is Renu Putin. Hi, Renu. Good to have you back on the show. Ramit Gupta is calling in from Delhi. Hi, Ramit.
Yeah, hi.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to invest about 10 to 20,000 in mutual funds. So I would like to know which mutual fund should I start with. This is the first time I'm investing.
Okay. And so far your money has been lying parked where? In bank deposits?
Yes.
So you have no equity exposure at all?
Initially, I purchased one IPO for Coal India.
Okay.
And one for Moil. That's only equity exposure I have.
All right. Okay. Renu, 25 years old, on the right track, wants to start investing for the long term with through the mutual fund route. What would you advise?
I think since it's a first time investment, he can start with a large cap fund. So there he can look at a fund like an ICICI Focus Blue Chip, and then he can even have a 10% kind of an exposure to a balanced fund like an HDFC Prudence fund. I think that all investors who are beginning to invest need to first have an allocation to these two categories, because they're quite new to this investment option. So both balanced fund and a large cap will help them sail through all market cycles. And after some time, that's once you're used to the risk and everything in these two funds, maybe you can expand your portfolio and look into other categories of funds also. Like you can consider mid caps and multi caps funds. Our topics normally are ID Premier Equity, and in the mid-cap space and in the multi-cap space, we look at UTI Opportunities Fund. Premier is normally open only for SIP investment, but currently from yesterday onwards, they have opened it up for lump sum. So you can look at that fund. It's quite it's a quite good performing fund in the mid-cap space. And once you can even consider then an exposure even into a sectoral fund like an infrastructure fund. Of course, infra is definitely not doing well right now, but on the long term, from a long term perspective, we're quite positive on this sector, and the fund that is doing good in this is ICICI Infra.
Right, very quickly to just refer to those flashes on your screen. It's India's top court Justice H.L. Dattu who cites conflict of interest and, of course, refuses to hear the Kane Vedanta public suit. So that's the latest information coming in on that one. Just moving on from there, we've got another caller. Akash Joshi calls in from Bhavnagar. Hi, Akash, what's your question?
Yeah, my query on Reliance Equity Opportunity Fund. My SIP is around 1,500 for last 5 years. My query on this is a good fund. Should I invest, continue this SIP in this fund, or switch to other? And my second query is, in last 2 months, the market is up 20%. And some media report is coming, so much of redemption coming in mutual fund. So I can invest in this fund.
Right. Renu, what are you making of Reliance Equity Opportunity Fund? Is it a good fund to stay invested in for about 10 years?
Reliance Equity Opportunities is from the multi-cap space. Definitely, it has been a good performing fund. Short term, there has been some volatility in this fund, but I think, Akash, there's nothing to worry on the fund as such. Long term, it has been a consistent performer, so you need to be patient and, don't take an exit call right now. As you rightly said, markets have been up in the short term and, there have been redemptions. But I think these kind of redemptions happen because investors really don't understand about mutual fund investments. We're not investing in stocks and, it's mutual funds where you need to actually invest for a long time period. So whether markets are up or down, since you already have an SIP, my advice is don't stop the SIP, continue with it. Short-term volatility is a part of the game, but the desired results will definitely come in the long term.
Okay, here's an email that comes in from Ravinder of Andhra Pradesh. He has the Fidelity Guarantee Tax Saving where he's put in 30,000. He has DSP Merrill Lynch where he's put in 20,000. We don't know the scheme, but he wants more funds and he wants to know which are the better funds and are the funds that he already has suitable. He has a 20-year time frame.
Okay. Considering his age and everything that's there, I think he can make a new portfolio about the tax saving. He can definitely stay in. Maybe he can have a 40% allocation he can do into a large cap like a Franklin India blue chip. He can have a 30% allocation into a mid cap like IDFC Premier Equity. And then I'm giving a 20% allocation to a balanced fund like HDFC Balance. So there he get an exposure to debt and equity, and 10% he can consider it into a sectoral fund. That's an ICICI Infra. So around 60% it's in a conservative kind of a portfolio. That's into a large cap and a balanced, and the rest I've given it, I made it a bit risky. So that should balance the entire portfolio allocation.
All right, that's all the time we have for this edition. Thanks, Renu, for coming by. We take a short break, but of course, let's tell you that there is that International Women's Day special coming up right here on Talk Money. That's where you need to get in touch with us. 7th March, that's the date. Keep your calls coming. We'd be happy to help you.